The first time was like doing a substance on set. As soon as it bled into my work, I knew like I had a serious issue.
Hi, I'm Nicoletta Heidegger, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and sexologist.
Hi, my name is Skye Blue, and I am an adult film star.
Skye, I'm so excited to have you here today, and we are going to be chatting a little bit about some education tips and information around sobriety in the industry. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
So what makes this a topic that feels near and dear to you?
Well, I've been 2 years sober myself, and I feel like I struggled really hard with it to kind of get to this point, because I feel like this work is so difficult and takes such a mental strain on a person that you really want something to relax with and turn off your brain at the end of the night. And I feel like a lot of people, their crutch is substance, alcohol, and it's really hard to get out of that loop, especially when work's not changing.
Yeah, and not just in the industry, like most people I talk to who are feeling stressed out at work, like the easiest thing that they turn to is something substance-like, or not substance-like, even Netflix, binge watching Netflix, that's mine. Like anything, like you said, that's like a quick dissociation.
Yeah.
But then we're not actually dealing with the stress, we're just like pressuring it down. If you don't mind me asking and you're willing to answer, has there been anything that's helpful for you in dealing with like the stress or pressure of this work? So you're like, okay, I'm sober, so what instead?
Right, yeah. So I had like crazy substance abuse problems, and my therapist helped me through it and gave me the helpful advice of, if you just focus on literally anything else for 20 minutes, the feeling of want will go away.
Was that true for you?
For me, it helped out so much.
So you're like, if I can make it 20 minutes, I can make it longer.
Yeah. Also just having something in your hand, having a water or ginger ale to feel like included if you're out doing social things. But I think that my thing that I switched on to was doing something like constructive for myself, like reading a book. I feel like that if I got into something really juicy like reading, that I kind of wanted to stay, awake enough to finish reading it.
Yeah. I don't know how this lands for you, but I feel like there's still so much stigma around like adult work and in the adult industry, and so I don't want to like add shame to that, but then I feel like sometimes there's this struggle when people are struggling in it, just like you might with any other job. When things get stressful, sometimes people don't talk about it because they're like, well, I don't want to show that like this and that, because then people are like, oh, well, you're drinking because you need porn. It's like, yeah, sure, maybe there's stress about the work, and maybe there's an issue in the work that you're doing, and lots of people numb out with that because of their job. And so I'm wondering for you, just like, yeah, what kind of led you to this place of being like, yeah, I need to get some support around this? And
for me, the first time was like doing a substance on set. As soon as it bled into my work, I knew like I had a serious issue, and I didn't want it to continue. I also like looked in the mirror and I was 20 pounds underweight. Like you could see I was severely going through something.
so you weren't feeling good, and it was affecting all kinds of things.
And I knew that nothing would change if I was on the path that I was on, because it's really hard to reach out when you're in this work, of course, because of the stigma, and there's not really any self-help guidebook, our agents can help so much by giving out, pamphlets on, do you feel stressed at work, do you need help, but it only really goes so far, and sometimes people don't even have the money to access those things.
Any tips for like how agents or people in the industry can do an even better job of like helping people connect if they're needing support?
I think first off, like the stigma around drugs needs to be
so just
wiped
doing what you're doing, which is talking about it. Thank you for talking about it.
Of course. Everybody goes through it at some point or another, and I feel like really just offering help and support rather than shaming them for doing it in the first place. Like, everybody's going to use a substance at some point, and I feel like the shaming of it really makes it harder for people to reach out for help, even more so. And I know even outside of this work, it's really, really difficult.
What have been some of the, like, if you're comfortable answering, like the biggest stressors in adult for you?
The award seasons and
Yeah,
conventions
we're
are
in
always
it
the
right
biggest
now.
ones.
Just being around a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like my social crutch was always to drink, so it's still kind of one of those relearning processes, you know, holding something in my hand to keep me away from it. But this is definitely one of the bigger stressors. But in everyday life, I feel like it's definitely the feeling like you have to be around 24/7. If my assistant needs something, that I need to be able to talk to them right away. Somebody might want something right then, message me, like giving me an offer, and I feel like I have to do it right then because I'm losing out on something if I'm not. And really, for that, it was just putting down the phone, like scheduling time of like turning the phone off completely.
Yeah.
And just disconnecting.
I'm really grateful that you were open to share, and like you were saying, this is such a awesome step for people to hear and connect and be like, oh, I'm normal and this is something that I'm struggling with and I'm not alone in that.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about it. This
Yeah.
has been so fun.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and hopefully this is some good educational tips to help you get started on your journey if you're wanting to get sober and needing extra support. Talk to you next time.